The Biden administration has been pushing hard for a global minimum corporate tax that would stop multinationals from fleeing to countries with lower tax rates. While the G7 does not have formal power over the final agreement, which is expected to be laid out by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, its countries are set to represent an important entity in ongoing negotiations. In this video, we'll explore why the US is pushing for this tax, what the global tax entails, and what effects it could have in future. So why is the US pushing so hard for this global tax? The rise of globalization and digitalizations have allowed big tech companies in particular to shift their profits to low tax locations. This is done through a technique known as profit shifting, which involves allocating sales derived in one country to a lower tax country. One of the ways this is achieved is by companies setting up a subsidiary in a tax haven and registering their intellectual property there. That entity then charges the company's subsidiaries in other higher tax jurisdictions large royalty fees. By charging that cost to the market where the majority of revenues are made, profits can be reduced or even eliminated, and this means no tax is paid. The actual profit is instead shifted to the low tax location, such as Bermuda or the British Virgin Islands. The Tax Justice Network has estimated that tax abuse by multinationals and individuals costs countries around the world $427 billion a year in lost revenues. The UK in particular is estimated to lose £25 billion of tax income due to profit shifting. According to the OECD, US multinationals' profit shiftings into tax havens has risen from an estimated 5 to 10% of gross profits in the 1990s to about 25 to 30% today. To further highlight this issue, we can see how the global effective corporate income tax rate of giants like Amazon and Facebook is only 11.8% and 12.2% respectively. This is substantially lower than the tax rates they would pay in many of the countries they operate in. So having identified the issue, let's look at how this global tax would actually work. There are two key branches to this plan, which follow from the OECD's Pillar 1 and Pillar 2 global tax reform set out in October. Under Pillar 1, taxing rights will be granted on multinationals' profits based on where its customers reside, irrespective of the company's physical presence in that location. Biden's plan also includes a threshold that would capture the world's 100 biggest multinationals, but would avoid the smaller companies. Under Pillar 2, governments would be able to set their chosen corporate tax rate. However, if companies paid lower rates in a certain country, then their home government would be able to claim top-ups to the agreed tax floor. This would eliminate the advantage of shifting profits to a tax haven. Going forward, negotiations will center on the threshold for company profits and also on the tax rate that should be applied. To make the proposal more appealing, the US has already lowered its proposed rate from 21% to 15%. But finding an agreed rate may prove challenging, as rates currently vary from as low as 9% in Hungary and 12.5% in Ireland to 32% in France and 31.5% in Portugal. But what could this proposal mean for the future? An OECD agreement would probably lead to the largest shakeup in international corporate taxation for a century. If the proposal passed, it would heavily limit companies' abilities to shift profits to low-tax jurisdictions and ensure that US tech giants pay more tax in the countries where they make their sales. As we said, the G7 does not have a formal role in this process, but the nations of US, Japan, Germany, the UK, France, Italy and Canada make a very powerful bloc in other forums, which could allow the proposal to succeed. However, sealing a deal between 139 countries which negotiate the tax reforms at the OECD, will not be easy. But with the US throwing its weight behind this proposal and Germany and France already expressing their support, may make approving this proposal just that much easier. However, countries with lower corporation tax rates have not signalled their agreement to this proposal. Ireland's finance minister said he had significant reservations over the plans and predicted Ireland will maintain its 12.5% corporate tax rate for many years to come. With a G7 approval, the OECD is aiming for an agreement by mid-2021, with hopes that a deal could be struck at a meeting of the G20 finance ministers in July. We shall see how this proposal evolves, as it will undoubtedly be an immensely significant update to global tax and could have severe impacts on big tech companies in particular. As always, thank you so much for watching our video. Please do consider leaving us a like, a comment and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you so much and we'll see you next time.